Hey guys, I'm Zoe and I play The Sims, and today we are doing the first ever Kaz on my channel, and it's also the first ever collab. No, actually, I mean, kind of. The first ever, mutual collab with someone on my channel. So I did this with Nikki Simmer, whose channel I'll link down below, and we were both, so we wanted to do a collab, and we were talking about what we should do, and we decided that we'd do the children of, Grimm Fairytales characters, as opposed to, Disney princesses, because a lot of the Disney comes from, the Grimm Fairytales. Sorry, I'm really sick, so my voice is going to be slightly questionable. A lot of them come from the Grimm Fairytales. This character never got turned into a Disney princess, because her story is her mum's story is kind of interesting. This is, you're seeing how I weirdly set up the hairs of, my characters. I just, open up as many tabs. What are they? Not little tabs. Outfits. Oh my gosh. I haven't played The Sims in so long. I've been too tired to be playing The Sims recently. But I made her, and she's really pretty. So her mum's story, it's actually my favorite Grimm story, but it's not a Disney thing, so no one's ever heard of it, probably. And it's basically about a girl, so there's a king and his wife, and the wife is, the most beautiful person in the world, and the king's in love with her, and she dies. And, everyone wants the king to remarry, but he says he won't remarry unless he finds someone as beautiful as his, first wife. And he has a daughter, and the daughter grows up to look like her mum, and the dad is like, well, if no one can find me somebody more beautiful than my wife, I'll just marry my daughter. And the daughter is like, maybe no. So she says, well, if you can get me, a dress made of stars, which is what this dress is. I don't know, when I first saw this in The Sims, I was like, oh, it sounds like the star dress. I mean, it looks like the star dress. I don't know, I just really like the idea of the star dress. Just a dress that looks like it's made of stars, and one that looks like it's made of the moon, and one that looks like it's made of the sun, and also a coat with the fur of every single animal in the entire kingdom. Because she goes, that'll never happen, so I should be safe for the next 50 years until he dies. Instead, he actually does it. And then she's like, well, damn, what do I do now? So she runs away to the neighboring kingdom and hides out in his forest in her coat for warmth. And so she hops into a hollow tree in her massive coat. And it turns out it's the king of the neighboring kingdom, not the original king, a different king. It's his woods. And he finds this strange creature in his tree with this weird coat of all the furs, and she's blackened her face with dirt to make her less recognizable. So he goes, well, you can take her home and make her a scullery maid, let's not leave her in a tree in the woods. Oh, I forgot to say, when she was running away from home, she took 3 things, a ring, a teeny little spindle, I don't know why she has a teeny spindle, but she does, and a something else, I don't know, a pendant, let's say. I forgot to put them in her outfit, oops. And this is the moon dress. I don't know, I just had fun making the things. They're not all formal outfits, because I thought she'd have too many formal outfits if she had 3 of them, so the sun one ended up being a more casual party wear. But that's okay. And so she ends up being the kitchen maid for this thing. And so the king throws a ball that lasts over 3 days, obviously, as it so conveniently does in fairy tales. And she's tasked with making the soup, the princess. So the kitchen lady, the head kitchen cook chef lady, sorry, I forgot the word. I'm sick, I'm sorry. Says, okay, you can make the soup. And so she does, and when she's finished, she puts her gold ring in the bottom of the soup, and so it gets served up to the table, and the king has the soup, and he thinks it's far better than anything that the cook has made, so he sends for the cook and goes, who made this soup, because it wasn't you, because it was much better than your cooking, and also, it had this weird ring in the bottom of it, and the cook goes, no, I made it, I made the soup. And he's like, yeah, sure you did. And eventually she admits that it was actually this kitchen girl. So he brings up the kitchen girl. He's like, how did you make such a nice soup, and where did this ring come from and everything? But she doesn't tell him anything. So he's like, oh, okay, I'll just send her back to the kitchen, I guess, if she doesn't want to tell me anything. And the next night, the same thing happens. So he's throwing the second night of the party, and she's also tasked with making this soup. So she makes the soup, and she puts in the tiny spindle, and it goes upstairs. And the soup is, again, much better than anything the cook would have done. And so he sends for the cook and says, who made this soup? And she has to admit again that it was this strange kitchen maid in all of her furs. I have missed an important part of the story. On the first night, she washes her face and comes up in a pretty sundress, and he dances with her. But then she blackens her face again. So when he asks for her to come back, I'm sorry, this didn't turn out well. I should redo it, but I'm too sick. And I have to go to the gym. Are you proud of me? I'm about to adult. Sorry, I'm interrupting your story. And so, yes, so he dances with her in a sundress, but he doesn't know who she is because she mysteriously runs away. And the second night, he dances with her in the moon dress, but he doesn't know who she is because she mysteriously runs away. And then the strange kitchen girl with furs has apparently put a spindle in the bottom of this soup. I don't know why she doesn't just come out and be like, yo, dude, help, it's me. Like, can I not be a kitchen maid? But she doesn't. And then on the third day, she makes the soup. It's much better than before. She puts in the tiny pendant. It goes upstairs. She washes her face, changes into the star dress this time, which is her fanciest of dresses, and goes upstairs and dances with the king. But this time he manages to slip a ring on her finger when she's not paying attention. And I don't know how he would do that. That was my one part of the story. I'm like, how would someone get a ring on your finger without you noticing? But he does. Let's just maybe he's just that handsome, and she's just too busy staring into his eyes. Who knows? But that happens, and then she rushes downstairs and she goes to darken her face, but she doesn't have time to take off the dress, so she just chucks the coat on over the top, and she leaves one finger still undirted because convenience, plot convenience. It's a fairy tale. And so this time, when the king calls her up to say, you know, why is there a tiny gold pendant in this soup, and she goes, well, I don't know anything. And somebody grabs at her. I should just be reading this story. I mean, I probably had enough time. That's okay. You have the strange me rendition with all of these things. He grabs at her, and the coat parts slightly, and it's revealed that the glowing star dress is underneath it. And he's like, oh my gosh, you're the princess. This, like, isn't it all related to Cinderella? I don't know. It's the first book in the story, and the second book in my Grimm story is Cinderella. So they seem related. But then he goes, wow, you're the same person, let's get married, and then they do. So yeah, I don't know, I really like the idea of all of the dresses. And they're fun to make in The Sims, right? I made her daughter, and she wears similar clothes. I kind of wanted to use that shirt in her swimwear, but I never did. So yeah, this is the first cast on my channel, and also the first fairy tale reading. I should have done that more dramatically, but I'm sorry, I'm tired, and I'm sick. But hey, I did a collab, so go check out Nikki Simmer's video in the description. I'll link the video. I mean, I'll add a card as well for her video if she goes up first. So there'll be a card up the top. Click on it. Click on the card, and also in the description if you missed it because you were slow, because you were too busy staring at this beautiful. I don't know. She's really pretty. I like her. That fancy German word there means something about she has a serious fur coat of lots of furs. So I just made it her surname because she doesn't really have a name in the story. And I gave her the foodie trait because her mum cooks things. So I hope you enjoyed. Like if you liked, subscribe for more chaos, and I will hopefully see you soon when I'm less sick and more better. Bye bye.